Oh, very good, excellent. So what are you going to say?
Well, I come from an Italian family, and I have a nurse who used to make this great pastrami sandwiches.
Wow, that sounds fantastic. And how was the pastrami cooked? Tender?
Boiled and absolutely not. A little stringy.
Do you think there'll be any interesting spices in there?
Oh,
Oh,
absolutely.
some new beasts to cook?
Yeah, there you go. So, is that the best clothing you could be getting where you come from?
Well, see you trying to get clothing.
No, I said the wrong thing there. Sorry. Anything else want to do?
I want to soothe myself by trying to fish.
Okay, sure.
So I'm going to take the silk rope that I have.
Right.
And I'm going to try to, well, ask around if anyone has any fishing equipment or any hooks.
Oh, sure. Says one of the sailors. Yeah. Excellent.
You have a rod that I can borrow?
Yeah. Actually, you don't even have to make anything. We got a few right here. So
Oh, beautiful.
yeah.
So I'll sit in the back with my feet dangling in the water.
Excellent. What's your survival?
Survival is, I have a -1 survival.
A -1.
That's right.
That's beautiful. Okay, so let's start talking about skills. Right. Everyone will notice that on their second sheet, this everything.
Survival.
You have a whole bunch of skills listed here. Right. There are 7 times 6. What is that? 42 skills. They're used to handle most of the common situations you come across. That are like non-natural type stuff. And the number that you're interested in, that you really care about, is the bold one right here on the left. So for example, when you take a look at his, he's got a survival of -1. Okay, now the way that the rule works is that if it's blank, right, or you have a 0 or lower, this other thing, then you roll a d10, and then you add that, and that's your numbers. If you have a 1 or above, in your total numbers, then you roll a d20, and then you add that number to the result. So the higher that number is, the bigger, the larger your eventual number is going to be. Right? Now, for any particular task that you want to do, and all this sort of stuff, there are basically these things called DCs, difficulty checks, and you need to meet or beat that number. Right? Very common numbers we're going to run across all the time are 15, 20, 25, 30. Virtually everything in the universe is going to be a DC like that. Okay? So let's do the first skill roll of the session here.
It's a D10?
D10 with a -1.
Why is he rolling for survival instead of for...
It's unclear.
Okay, the reason why is because fishing is...
animal handling, maybe?
Okay, so each one of the different ones, right, applies to different types of situations. Survival equals to getting through life. Then use the survival skill. And by the way, the skills aren't like unique or disjoint or anything. So there's lots of things that are used for lots of different types of skills. Sometimes they overlap. But in this particular case, it's clearly the survival skill. Yeah! Yeah, whatever. You don't catch any fish. If you want, you can fish for a long time and take 10 on that roll. You don't catch any fish. Yeah, exactly. The survival -1, you're not catching much of anything. So
What's around us in the ship? Are there any objects or anything?
what's the round? I'm sorry.
What's around in the ship?
Oh, the ship basically has got some pallets for you to sleep in, right? In a little area that's covered, on the back, so forth and so on. It's got a whole bunch of different types of equipment, which looks like it's, food, horse gear, robe, various other types of, stuff you might need along trip, tents, other things like that, a whole lot. There's some, places along the side where you can sit. So if you guys want to sit down and have a, talk or take a look and see where you can do that. And then there's the people. Then there's Jeremiah Bloom and the 4 group, etc. Okay. Were you looking for anything particular on the ship?
So there's no rooms, there's no boxes, there's nothing?
No, there's no rooms. There's just the places where you sleep, which is covered. So it's like away from the elements type of thing. But there's no concept of a room or stateroom or anything on the ship. Okay.
So I remember my training and sit on the side watching.
Excellent. Very good. Yes, there you go. Ninja must always be alert.
So what do you
Okay.
Just gonna do practice with
It's like, I don't know what I could be fucked with that.
If your life depended on it, I'm sure you could.
I'm sure I could too. I prefer myself a simple longsword. In fact, this longsword is the reason why I got kicked out of my clan. I said, well, I wouldn't use the axe. I don't want to use the dwarven axe. I said, I like the longsword. I don't have anything against axes. I just don't want people to be forcing me to use weapons I don't want to use. That's what it is. Besides that, I really like the longsword. Well, anyways.
You obviously have a really good axe.
That could very well be it. People say that about, people also say that about polenta. Never had a good polenta. Okay, so, the day passes without event in Kirkstone. The next day, you pass through the highly urban areas in Kirkstone. What's very interesting is that the keelraft continues overnight in Kirkstone. So normally when you see these things, flowing down the river, down the flow of the river, they'll set in somewhere, so that they don't, jostle something at night and so on. But these ones are, keep going at night, yada. They're using magical light, with which to light their way to make sure they don't hit anything, as they're going along. So you're getting the fast track, out.
You don't actually stop?
All of them. No. All of them are continuing to go. They're all staying in a group. Okay.
So we're traveling in the pack of you guys.
Yeah, exactly. So there's you and the 2 other ranks. Okay. Now the next day is basically going to pass without event unless someone else wants to do anything else.
I brought a little bit of raw materials to try to fashion some arrows. I just want to try it.
Sure. Very good. Excellent. Let's fashion some arrows. What's your craft mundane?
Craft mundane. I have a 4.
Yes. Now we're getting somewhere.
Exactly.
Yeah, very good. So let's roll a d20. Got the 4, 15, 19. Beautiful.
It has to be over what?
What has to be over
It
what?
has to be over, it's a d20 and it has to be over what in order to succeed?
Oh, it's different depending on the task that you're trying to achieve. Right? Now, in his particular case, just fletching, that's a DC 15 with Protector. So he basically can make whatever arrows he wants to make with Protector. If you want to do something more complicated,
The DC was 15, so he has to get over 15.
15 or above, that's right. Which you got just naturally on the roll,
Yeah.
so the +4 is just bonus at this point, right? Now, if you want to do something more complicated, like let's say, mending some armor, and that would be a DC 20. If you want to do something even more complicated, like re-putting back together a broken sword, that would be a DC 25. And just keeps getting more and more hard, right? If he wants to, in a blizzard with no tools, while he's being attacked, reassemble the bits of something or other, yada, and that's like DC 40.
Uh-huh.
Right? So
You better remember that one.
So how many arrows does he make anyway?
how many arrows do you want?
I'll make a dozen.
Okay, very good, sure.
I can't carry one.
Yeah, exactly.
I noticed that these arrows are really, they look great. Great.
Well, thank you.
I'm really
I like
impressed.
the chat.
You know what, in fact, I want to know if you would make them.
Absolutely. Can you use this? I'll sling the bow.
No, I'm not gonna use it.
Oh,
It's
you
gonna be a
just-
good luck charm.
Oh, absolutely.
I am honored. Thank you. What's my name?
Pleasure. Morin.
Theodore.
It's a pleasure.
It is a pleasure to be on this boat with you.
He's trying to work his hand. It's
So, write down on your character sheet, arrow, put a quarter item. Everything's a quarter item. By the way, it doesn't have to be a ready item in case you plan on putting it out on
Oh, yeah, now I'm gonna.
combat. Okay? Okay. By the way, just so you know, the whole shtick with the ready items is that ready items cost items. Okay, so every one item of ready item you put on your character sheet, you need to put another quarter item on your ready slots. So that's sort of like the trade-off, right? Otherwise, everybody would just make everything a ready item. There'd be no disadvantage to doing that. Okay, so anybody else? But just so you know, you should just call out when you're into something, because otherwise the script is just going to be a very long, uneventful trip where it's just like nothing happens and just days go by. If you like, you can just fast forward to the next thing.
No, you can let some of the jerk go on.
So the witch moves it. So
Are there any locks on any of the crates?
Are there crates?
No, there aren't really. Well, I mean, there aren't really crates. They're just sort of like bags of filled with stuff, and then there wouldn't be any locks. There's no locks on them. Yeah, exactly. Nice try. Good try. Keep trying. This is a lot of impressive. Maybe we'll give you some locks. Okay, so the witch moves it. So you stop on the third day out in Kirkshire. So you're now on August 11th. This is a little while. And I mean, for most of you, you're now farther than anywhere you've ever traveled before in terms of time lost. For some of you, it's just like whatever. It doesn't matter. Okay. So you're at the edge of Baclavia, where it turns into another country. Okay, type of thing. And Jeremiah's like, so we're going to stop here and reprovision. We're going to get some more food. And actually, we're rotating through the 3 ships, so I'm going to be going to meet some of the other people, and then Yaman Hazim is going to be coming back for the next leg of the trip. So,
Can you make food?
No, Yaman can't make food. Which is why we're going to get ready. And so it was a pleasure meeting you all.
It was a pleasure traveling.
Well, thank you, Mr. Brown.
Nice.
Yeah, nice meeting you as well. So we'll definitely see more of each other on the trip. We're actually walking out there, and definitely when we're golden, type of thing. My chapel is always open to all of you, for any reason whatsoever. Right before he heads off, Troya says, "Excuse me a moment. You said you were going to get some provisions and supplies and stuff." He's like, "Yeah. Do you mind if I come with you?" And he's like, "No, come on. We're sharing a car." So the two will be. So, very soon, it's actually a very short stop. They come back on. Yaman Hazim comes back on. Right? Troya comes back on. And she's got some strange package with her.
I'd like to go up to her and sniff.
Yeah. It's not food, I'm sorry. and you can't eat it either.
I want to try to examine the package just visually.
He's using his skills. He's trying to be skill boy. This is great. Excellent. What you're examining. Let's see. Very cool. So terrific.
Examine, I got 4.
Examine a 4. Let's try it. Let's take that.
Oh, I see.
Ooh, 15. That's a lot. So it's pretty clear from the package. You get a long chance to notice it in all this regular show. That it's the standard type of thing that contains cloth. They wrap a cloth in Australia shop. And then, after you finish examining it and you figure out exactly what's inside of it and deduced it, she opens it up and it's a bowl of cloth. You always have to confirm. And she actually goes back to the back area and all sorts of other stuff and so on. Breaks out a sewing kit and then starts, sewing stuff. Right? So, by the way, just this is my die rolling equipment. The way I'm running die rolling is like that. So I just got 13, which is all I need to know. Okay, very good. So, woohoo! Wow. Another day goes by. Someone's doing anything.
I'm going to offer this spot. You!
Me?
Yeah!
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Sure.
Woohoo! Score.
I'll go whisper with these guys. You're putting any money on them?
It's probably better food.
There you go. Excellent. So,
Before we start this sparring, I just want to ask you, you got a problem with me? Or is this a friendly sparring match?
If I had a problem with you, I would have told you it's come to blows, but it's just a friendly sparring. If you don't want to do this is
No,
fine.
I'm happy. No problem. I just figured I'd check. That's all.
I love it.
Just a question.
Okay, great.
Trying dwarf seem a little bit busy.
Yeah.
No problem.
I'm going to take my rope from the silk rope and just kind of, well, actually, I guess I'll try to maybe use sleight of hand to do it fairly surreptitiously. And basically, I'll just take it out of the bag and kind of throw it on the ground.
Okay.
It's a pile of this.
Excellent, very good. Okay, so pause for on the slide again. Thank you, turn block. So the two of you, can basically hold a nice sparring thing all through the shop. During the sparring, you get a good judge of each other's, abilities and all this other stuff. So, what's your strength? 16 strength. What do you got for strength? 16 strength. And you're very evenly matched, more evenly matched than you might otherwise expect. And both of you know that you're pretty damn strong. So it's like, wow, the other person must also be pretty damn strong. What are your respective dexes here? Whoa, what are you?
10.
10. Yeah. There you go. Very good. So you're pretty close on the dex as well. Yeah, that's
Where's
what's
the little
up.
sword?
Right.
But it looks like she's a little bit more reckless, you know, with her different things, and he's a little bit more just, you know, methodical with his attacks.
I think my rope is going to take a very good spot. I just want to like surreptitiously type it in. I don't care. I want to see if one of them will go follow me.
Oh, very good, excellent. So,
But I'm going to be bored.
sure, yeah. So the witch moves
You're
it.
throwing this rope to open
Yeah,
yourself down.
yeah, basically.
He's just being mischievous, exactly. Because he hasn't broken the old mold of the rogue. He doesn't realize he's a new rogue, he's a different rogue now. Okay, but anyway, the thing is, so let's try some of that stuff again. Let's try some stuff again.
Let's do it.
Okay. So we're gonna get the balance checks.
Is there,
It's not a 4.
It's a 4, excellent.
is
Very
there
good.
Pathetic. It's a 6, so it's a 10 total.
What?
saying how observant I am? Whether I know
Yes,
that?
there is, in fact. There is. Okay, so there's several skills which deal with observation, how observant you are.
I'm also watching the planets.
We spot.
Excellent, very good. Okay, the primary one, the biggest one, is called spot. Right, which you have, you know, no brain synthesis.
No particular, which means no particular, but I'm not horrible at it. Just right?
No. That actually means you're pretty bad at it.
Ah.
Right, because that means that the maximum you could possibly get would be a 10, and on average you get a 5. Right? Considering that most DCs are like 15s and all this sort of stuff, that's not very good.
Okay.
Okay, now we have a whole bunch of other ones which are more active. If you wanted to search something, you could search things. If people were doing things during like a role-playing thing, you wanted to sense motive, or sense motive, right? There's a few more. And then you have some other ones. Oh, sorry, and then you have examine. So that's where you examine something for a long time and then figure out what it does or what it goes to, etc. Okay? Do you have a question?
What are the A's?
The A's, okay, so every class has what are called class skills. So they're like better at the skills than the other skills. So your class is a warlock, right? And so if you see down here, you have A equals warlock. So those are all the class skills for a warlock, right? Now suppose you were a multi-class and you would become a warlock something. Then the second class would be a B, and then you would have B's there as well. And they're not necessarily the same class skills. Some of them might be A's, some of them might be B's, some of them might be A's, that type of thing. Okay. Any other questions on the scales? Any other questions on the stuff?
What's EQ mean?
EQ? Where's EQ? Equipment. Okay, so the ones at the top, so it's the ability, your total, the ranks you have in it, which are the skill points that you have. Ability, which is always filled out. Synergies, equipment, and then other.